I have a magical treasure cauldron. No matter what I put inside, it will undergo a qualitative or quantitative change. Throw 10 lower grade spirit stones into the cauldron, and they become 1 top grade spirit stone. If I toss in a yellow grade spirit fruit, it turns into 100 yellow grade spirits. But I'm still very disappointed, because I'm a beastmaster. A useless beastmaster. Other beastmasters have contract beasts like fierce tigers or gray wolves. Some even have top-tier beasts like flood dragons and killins. But I only bonded with a mutt. It not only has no fighting power, it even jumps into my arms when it sees other fierce beasts. Because of this, I've always been mocked by other disciples in my sect. After obtaining the universe cauldron, I thought about tossing the mutt in as well, but I couldn't bring myself to do it. I originally wanted to find another living creature in the mountains to test the effect first, but the mutt didn't seem satisfied with being just a mutt. It leapt straight into the universe cauldron. I rushed over in a panic and saw the cauldron shining with golden light, with countless spiritual energies swirling around. An astonishing energy erupted from the mutt's body, even forming dragon patterns. In an instant, the mutt that wasn't even as long as my arm started to swell rapidly. It became as tall as a small hill. Its whole body emitted dazzling golden light, so bright I couldn't open my eyes. Amidst that golden glow, I seemed to see the sacred beast Di Ting from ancient legends. I was overjoyed, ready to welcome my mythical contract beast. But when the light faded, the one who jumped into my arms, wagging its tongue and acting cute, was still that mutt. Still small and skinny, still looks plain and rustic. Contract information surfaced in my mind. Contract beast, Di Ting. Mutt I didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Who names their divine beast Mutt? I was lost for words when a mutated tiger suddenly appeared, roaring. It whipped up a fierce wind around us, sand and stones flying everywhere. It turned out to be a Tier 5 fierce beast, the Howling Wind Tiger. I was shocked and terrified. The Howling Wind Tiger is terrifyingly powerful. 10 contract beasts of the same tier couldn't beat it, let alone a Tier 1 mutt. I picked up the mutt and turned to run. But unexpectedly, the mutt just glared back at the Howling Wind Tiger, and it froze in place. Its whole body then lay prostrate on the ground, like a well-behaved kitten, showing submission to the mutt. I was stunned. I looked at the mutt in disbelief, and the mutt looked back at me, wagging its tail and barking happily twice, as if it had nothing to do with any of this. My heart raced wildly. So this is the power of the legendary post-mythical mutt. It can make a Tier 5 fierce beast submit. If it keeps evolving and fully transforms into a divine beast, just how powerful will Di Ting become? Maybe by then, I'll be at the very top of the entire Beastmaster world. Thinking about this, I get fired up with excitement. I can't wait and run toward the east gate. Back at the east gate, I lock myself in my room and dump all the beast pills I've saved up over the years straight into the universe cauldron. The cauldron glows gold again. In no time, over 50 rejected beast pills magically fuse into 1 supreme beast pill. Its value multiplied by at least 1,000 times. I kissed the universe cauldron in excitement, then hurriedly took out the pill. When the mutt saw the supreme beast pill in my hand, its eyes lit up, wagging its tail frantically at me. I squatted down excitedly and patted its head. Little guy, I'm counting on you to become Di Ting and take me to new heights. Don't let me down. The mutt seemed to sense my expectations and barked twice happily. I didn't waste any time and stuffed the supreme beast pill directly into its mouth. The moment the pill entered, countless golden dragon patterns appeared again on the mutt's body, and the whole room was bathed in gold. I clenched my fists nervously, my whole body trembling slightly, hoping the mutt would finally complete its transformation. But to my surprise, when the golden dragon patterns faded, the mutt looked completely unchanged. Still that weak and fragile look, happily wagging its tail. I was utterly disappointed. I gently pinched its little ears. Even the Supreme Beast pill didn't work? Little guy, what will it take for you to fully become divine? The mutt barked twice again. Not really talking, but somehow I understood. If I want you to complete your transformation, you'll need a divine-grade beast pill. Hearing that, I found myself in a bind. Divine-grade beast pills are incredibly valuable. The entire beast sect probably doesn't have a single one. Let alone me, just an outer disciple. In the end, it was the mutt who reminded me that there will be a sect tournament next month, and the champion's reward is an immortal-grade beast pill. If I can use that immortal-grade beast pill as a catalyst, and add a large amount of lower-tier pills, the universe cauldron can definitely fuse a divine-grade beast pill. My eyes lit up, and I instantly understood the plan. During the sect tournament, the sect master and elders don't participate, and with the mutt's current ability, beating other disciples and winning the prize is more than possible. Now the only thing I have to do is figure out how to collect enough D-tier pills quickly. For the next few days, I crazily took quests in the sect to earn points, to exchange for pills. Judging by the last fusion, 50 rejected beast pills can make one supreme pill. So by this calculation, if I want to fuse a divine-grade beast pill, I'd need at least 5,000 rejected pills. And as an outer disciple, I only get one a month. Since the universe cauldron only enhances the same item once a month, each batch only works once a month. So if I want to gather enough material, I can only do quests until I collect 500, then use the cauldron's power to multiply them, eventually reaching 5,000. One day, I had just exchanged for 2 basic jade bracelets at the exchange counter, when a rough big hand suddenly grabbed the pouch with my pills in it and snatched it away. I turned around angrily, only to find over a dozen burly men, all wearing outer disciple robes. And their leader was the notorious bully among the outer disciples, Lu Zhang, relying on his contract beast, a Tier 3 ironback bear.
He rampages through the outer sect.
Whenever he sees something good, he just steals it. This time, it looks like I'm his target. I was angry inside, but didn't want to cause a scene in front of everyone. After all, the mutt hasn't finished evolving yet, and I have to hide my strength. Otherwise, if any ill-intentioned expert finds out about the mutt, they'll definitely try to steal it. By then, not only will I lose the mutt, I might even lose my life. I clenched my fists, suppressed my anger, and finally forced a flattering smile. Hey, so it's Brother Zhang. How come you have time to run errands today? Lu Zhang's face suddenly darkened. You think your brother Zhang needs to do errands? I still have to do tasks myself? I quickly nodded and flattered him. Yes, I misspoke. Brother Zhang is the top genius among our outer disciples. He could get promoted to inner disciple at any time. As I spoke, I glanced at the pouch in his hand filled with elixirs. After hesitating for a moment, I forced a flattering smile. Brother Zhang, these are 2 pills I just exchanged for. If you don't mind, I'd like to offer you one as a gift. Is that okay? But as soon as I finished speaking, Lu Zhang suddenly kicked me in the stomach. The kick made me double over and dry heave on the ground. Lu Zhang looked down at me, his eyes full of contempt. 1 pill? What do you think I am, a beggar? Holding my stomach, I almost lost my temper. But in the end, I forced myself to hold back my anger, so as not to get into a direct conflict. But the stray mutt by my side couldn't stand seeing me bullied, and couldn't hold back anymore. It arched its skinny body, for standing on end, baring its teeth viciously at Lu Zhang, looking like it was about to lunge at him. Lu Zhang saw this, but didn't take the dog seriously at all. Instead, he pointed at the dog and laughed with the others. This little bastard's actually pretty fierce. With that, he raised his foot to stomp on the dog. Panic surged in my heart. If his foot landed, with the dog's current temper, it would definitely tear Lu Zhang apart on the spot. If our strength was exposed then, both the mutt and I probably wouldn't survive the day. Thinking of this, I stopped caring about my stomach pain and rushed over to scoop the dog into my arms. I smiled at Lu Zhong, begging for mercy. Brother Zhong, my little mutt really can't take your kick. Please have mercy. Seeing how pathetic I looked, Lu Zhong instantly mocked me mercilessly. Trash is trash, after all. You even treat this little mutt like a treasure. Yeah, this little mutt isn't even enough to fill ironclad bear's teeth. Brother Zhong, show this loser your ironclad bear. Let him see what a real gap looks like. Mighty Brother Zhong, so imposing. All right, then, let this loser have a taste. After Lu Zhong finished speaking, he immediately began forming a summoning seal. When he finished the hand seal, the massive 4-meter-tall ironclad bear suddenly appeared by his side, letting out a provocative roar at everyone. The ironclad bear's thunderous roar made everyone cover their ears. Even the ground seemed to tremble. The countless sword-like iron spikes on its body reflected a chilling cold light, sending chills down everyone's spine. Seeing the ironclad bear appear, all the outer disciples nearby scrambled back dozens of meters, shivering and not daring to look up. Soon only Lu Zhong and a few others, plus me, remained at the exchange area. Lu Zhong patted the ironclad bear with pride. See that? This is what a real contracted beast looks like. His cronies, seeing their boss acting so cool, felt honored as well, breaking into excited cheers. Long live Brother Zhong, unstoppable. Long live Brother Zhong, invincible ironclad bear. I glanced at the fierce, violent ironclad bear, but stayed calm inside. On the surface, though, I put on a flattering smile. Brother Zhong, I'm completely convinced now both of these pills are yours. Just please let me go. But obviously, Lu Zhong wasn't about to let me off so easily. He patted the ironclad bear, then pointed straight at the mutt in my arms. Go over there and chew up that little bastard for me. Hearing the order, the ironclad bear's vicious nature exploded, letting out another furious roar at me and the mutt. Then it charged at my arms, its killing intent focused right on the dog. Unable to stand Lu Zhong's provocation any longer, I decided I wouldn't hold back anymore. Fixing a cold stare on the ironclad bear, and gently patted the mutt in my arms. The mutt understood my signal, raised its head and barked lazily. It was ready to fight back. We stood right where we were, waiting for the ironclad bear to charge. The bear got so close it completely blocked everyone's view. That's when I smirked, now's the time. The mutt nodded, then cast a languid glance at the ironclad bear. In that instant, the ironclad bear, mouth wide open, about to swallow the mutt whole, was so scared its pupils shrank. Its fur stood up all over its body, and all 4 paws scratched desperately at the ground, kicking up clouds of dust, barely managing to stop in front of us. The beast's instincts told the ironclad bear that the mutt was a terrifying existence far beyond its imagination. The ironclad bear collapsed to the ground, its massive body trembling and groveling low, sneaking a glance at the mutt, then daring a peek at me, eyes full of fear it couldn't hide. I looked down into its eyes and said coldly, "Get lost." The ironclad bear looked like it had been pardoned, knocked its head on the ground twice, then bolted out of the sect in a panic. When the dust finally settled, Brother Zhong realized the ironclad bear ran away, looking utterly stunned. Ironclad bear, where are you going? Get your ass back here. The cronies, seeing the sudden reversal, were all left dumbfounded, because the dust had blocked their view, so they didn't see what actually happened. But judging by the look on the bear's face, it was clear it got scared by something. They couldn't imagine what could possibly scare a fierce beast like the ironclad bear so badly. Lu Zhong slapped his thigh in frustration. Useless thing. What did you just do? Brother Zhong. All I have is a little mutt. What could I possibly do? But Lu Zhang just raised his fist and punched me hard in the face. If it wasn't for your filthy mutt, the bear wouldn't have run. Today I'm going to beat the useless out of you. Lu Zhang slammed me to the ground, pummeling and kicking me, each blow landing hard. I held the mutt in my arms, curling up tightly, suppressing my anger, and silently enduring it all. But seeing Lu Zhang getting rougher and rougher, I was worried he might actually beat me to death. His cronies rushed over. Brother Zhang, stop. There are too many people here. If you beat this loser to death right now, the elders will never let it go. Even as they pulled Lu Zhang off, he was still fuming, giving me 2 more hard kicks, and spitting on me, before cursing through gritted teeth. Useless trash. From now on, I'll beat you every time I see you. Just you wait. After cursing me out, he led his cronies off to chase after the ironclad bear. I got up quietly, wiping the blood from the corner of my mouth, without saying a word. The outer disciples were watching me from a distance. Some looked gloating. Others showed sympathetic faces. I couldn't care less about them. I left the exchange hall, holding the mutt. After returning to my room, my anger was beyond control, and I was very clear about one thing. Lu Zhang is the kind of person who never lets go of a grudge. Now that he's set his sights on me today, I'm afraid my days in the sect are going to be tough. I might even get beaten to death by him. The mutt looked at me from the side. Suddenly, he barked sharply, and I understood what he meant. He wanted me to strike first. Take Lu Zhang out. But if I wanted to take out Lu Zhang, I couldn't just have the mutt do it directly. There were so many outer disciples who saw today's conflict. If Lu Zhang died, I'd definitely be the first suspect. So if I want to kill Lu Zhang, I need to come up with a better plan. I thought long and hard, and suddenly I came up with a great idea. If Lu Zhang was bitten to death in public by the iron bronze bear, then no one would suspect me. I told the mutt my plan. His eyes lit up. He flashed a somewhat feminine smile, nodded and ran out of my arms. I watched the mutt dash out of the room, the corners of my mouth curling into a cold smile. Don't worry. I know that the moment Lu Zhang finds the iron bronze bear will be the day he dies. Lu Zhang, along with his lackeys, searched the mountains outside the sect for an entire hour. They finally found the iron bronze bear by the mountain stream. When they found it, the iron bronze bear was curled up behind a boulder, shivering. Lu Zhang ran over excitedly. You useless thing, what are you running for? When the iron bronze bear saw its master, it was like finding a lifeline. It started to whimper softly. The lackeys all ran over, congratulating Brother Bear, but Lu Zhang's face looked very grim. Something isn't right. The iron bronze bear has never lost control like this. What happened today? One lackey's eyes darted suspiciously. Brother Bear, I think the bear losing control has something to do with that loser the Chun. Lu Zhang frowned. The Chan? You think it's him? Think about it. The iron bronze bear only lost control when it went to bite him. Who else could it be besides him? A cruel glint flashed in Lu Zhang's eyes. He's asking for it. Brother Bear, if you ask me, just kill him outright. You've got manager who backing you up. Killing an outer disciple is no big deal. You're right. We'll strike as soon as we get back. Let's find a chance today and kill him. After they finished discussing, they headed towards the sect with the iron bronze bear. None of them noticed. In the nearby bush, the mutt was hiding in the shadows, staring at them intensely. As dusk approached, Lu Zhang and the others returned to the sect square. The mutt followed along. Seeing the crowd gathered in the square, The mutt knew it was time to act. The moment had come. He stepped out of the shadows and let out a low growl toward the iron bronze bear. In an instant, an invisible pressure swept over the iron bronze bear like a tide. The bear froze. Its pupils dilated instantly, completely under the mutt's control. Lu Zhong sensed something was wrong. What's happening now? But the iron bronze bear could no longer hear him. Under the mutt's pressure, there was only one thought left in the bear's mind. Kill the people around me, or else I'll be the one who dies. The bear's eyes gradually turned blood red. It suddenly turned its head and stared viciously at Lu Zhong. A murderous intent filled its gaze. Lu Zhong froze for a moment, his instincts telling him danger was near. Why are you staring at me? But the answer was the bear lunging at him with its gaping jaws. It bit down on his shoulder. Bear and man let out a gut-wrenching scream. All the disciples in the square were stunned by the sudden scene. They screamed and scattered. The lackeys were even more terrified, all collapsing to the ground, their pants soaked in urine. The whole square descended into chaos. Desperate to survive, the iron bronze bear began viciously biting through the throat, snapping bones. Lu Zhong's screams twisted until they fell completely silent. Just then, a burly middle-aged man rushed in. It was outer gate manager Hu Di. He saw Lu Zhong's miserable state. "You beast, stop!" At the same time, he formed a hand seal with his right hand. A massive stone-skinned mountain ape appeared out of nowhere. It was Huda's contract beast, a Tier 4 mutant mountain ape. The moment the mutant mountain ape landed, cracks spread across the ground like spider webs. It roared and charged the iron bronze bear, punching the bear in the head. The bear's huge head caved in. Its massive body fell with a thud, and it died on the spot. Manager Hu's face was dark with anger. He crouched down to check Lu Zhong's injuries, and found he was already dead. Manager Hu grabbed one of the lackeys on the ground and demanded angrily, "What happened? Tell me, Manager Hu." The bear started acting strange this afternoon, and suddenly went crazy. Hu frowned deeply. He looked at the iron bronze bear, then at Lu Zhong. "Did they see anyone this afternoon? That loser, the Chun. The Chun. Come on, take me to him." Lu Zhong worked for him. He usually helped him collect pills and resources from other outer disciples. Now that Lu Zhong's dead, he had to get to the bottom of what happened. The lackey nodded and bowed, and led Manager Hu toward the disciples' quarters. Inside the disciples' quarters at that moment, the mutt was describing what happened in the square to me. The little guy was acting all proud, wagging his tail and barking at me. Nicely done. Worthy of the divine beast listening dog. Just then, Manager Hu suddenly kicked the door open and burst in. "The Chan, get out here." I saw how furious he looked, and the smell of blood still on him. I immediately realized he must be here about Lu Zhong's death. I hurriedly put on a smiling face. "Manager Hu, what brings you here?" Manager Hu grabbed my collar. "The Chan, you dare kill Lu Zhong?" "What, Manager Hu? You're saying Brother Zhong is dead? How is that possible? I even saw him at the exchange hall this afternoon. He was bitten to death by the bear, just now. Tell me, what did you do to the bear?" Seeing Manager Hu pretend to be angry, but not taking any further action, I knew he didn't really have anything on me. He was just trying to trick me into talking. So I decided to play dumb all the way through. I gave a self-deprecating smile. "Manager Hu, please stop joking. What could I possibly do to the giant bear? You know I'm a useless beast tamer." "Yeah, besides that little mutt. I can't control any other contract beasts." After saying that, I glanced at my mutt. The mutt was clever. He immediately understood what I meant. He cooperated by tucking his tail and shrank at my feet. He looked at Manager Hu with terrified eyes. Seeing the two of us like that, Manager Hu hesitated. It was tough for him too. He couldn't imagine someone as useless as me could ever control an iron brown bear. But even so, Manager Hu still didn't entirely drop his suspicions about me. After all, the conflict between me and Lu Zhang was real. And the Iron Brown Bear only went berserk after our fight, suddenly losing control. Manager Hu hesitated for a long time, before finally letting go of my collar.
He frowned and snorted coldly.
"The Chan, I'll be watching you. If I find out you were involved in this, you'll die more miserably than Lu Zhong did." After saying this, he left without looking back. I watched his retreating figure. The corners of my mouth twitched. I gently picked up the mutt from the ground. "Little guy, Manager Hu isn't easy to deal with. Be careful from now on." The mutt obediently wagged his tail, looked up and barked. He even showed a human-like smile on his face. News of Lu Zhong's death quickly reached the elders. But since the Iron Brown Bear was also dead, and there was no sign of foul play at the scene, the elders concluded it was just an accident. After instructing the disciples to always monitor the condition of their contract beasts, they decided to end the matter right there. The entire beast sect returned to its usual peace. And without Lu Zhong's harassment, I started frantically taking on tasks in the sect again, to stockpile elixirs. But on the evening of the 4th day, Manager Hu appeared at my room door again. This time he didn't kick it open. "The Chun, I'm here to talk about something with you." He swaggered inside, sat down on my only chair, and crossed his legs. "Lu Zhong's death. The sect might not have blamed you. But don't think this matter is over just like that." I opened my mouth, wanting to explain. Manager Hu raised his hand to cut me off. "I may not have proof you did it, but I've got plenty of ways to get you kicked out of the sect. Want to give it a try?" My heart sank when I heard this. I knew clearly he was telling the truth. As an outer sect steward, he had direct authority over whether us disciples could stay or leave. He has the power to decide our fate directly. If he really decided to target me, then this useless beast tamer would definitely be expelled from the sect. Not only would I be unable to get the immortal beast taming pills, even my dream of helping Earth Dog evolve would be shattered. Although I was resentful, I could only endure for now. "Steward Hu, please show me a way out." Steward Hu grinned proudly. "It's simple. Hand over 50 refund pre-sale slips, and I'll pretend none of this ever happened. 50 refund pre-sale slips. That's all I've collected in the past 3 years." Hearing that number, I suddenly became very alert. That number was way too accurate. Steward Hu must have investigated how many tasks I completed.
He figured out how many pills I had.
So it looks like he's already got his eyes set on me. With Steward Hu's greedy nature, even if I hand over 50 slips as he asks, he'll definitely never let me off. In other words, no matter how many tasks I do in the future, or how many pills I exchange for, he'll take them all. It's just like raising pigs. Fatten them up, then slaughter. I instantly made up my mind. No turning back now. I might as well deal with Steward Hu myself. Get rid of all future troubles. I started feigning difficulty to haggle with him. "Steward Hu, 50 is too many. I really don't have that many. Could you cut me some slack?" "Stop wasting my time. 50 in 3 days, not even one less." I gritted my teeth. From the cabinet, I dug out the 10 slips I've just received these days, and handed them over with both hands. "Steward Hu, these are all the pills I have right now. Please give me 3 more days for the rest. I promise I'll find a way to make up the amount." Steward Hu took the pills and weighed them in his hand. He finally showed a satisfied look. 3 days. Remember what I said. He pocketed the pills and strode away. The moment the door closed, the humility on my face instantly vanished. It was replaced by coldness. Earth Dog crawled out from under the bed. He gave me a sharp bark. I squatted down and patted his little head. "Relax, he won't survive 3 days." I started pacing in the room, thinking of strategies. Since Steward, who doesn't have a summoned contract beast, Earth Dog can't control it. So I can't use my old trick this time. But the principle of using others to do the dirty work shouldn't change. My mind raced. My eyes unconsciously wandered. Just then, the universe cauldron in the corner caught my eye. In that moment, my eyes lit up. A bold plan appeared in my mind. Since I can't control the real beast, why not just find a stand-in to impersonate it? Steward, whose contract beast was a mutated stone ape. Its skin was completely petrified. It had immense strength. If I could find a regular stone ape, throw it into the universe cauldron to mutate it, make it look exactly like Steward, whose contract beast, then command it to kill Steward, who. Wouldn't that solve all my problems? Everyone would think, no matter what, he died at the hands of his own contract beast. Same way Lu Zhong died. Absolutely perfect. Thinking of that, I took action immediately. I brought Earth Dog and left the sect overnight, and headed into the back mountain. But once I got there, I realized the mountain stretched hundreds of miles. Who knows where the stone apes are hiding? There's nowhere to even start searching. That really made things difficult. Earth Dog seemed to sense my problem. He suddenly broke free from my arms, hopped a few times up to the peak, then howled towards the sky. It wasn't loud, but it felt like a ripple, instantly spreading through the whole mountain. In the next moment, the entire mountain erupted. Countless birds and beasts stirred up. Cries echoed all through the forest. I stood halfway up the mountain
and saw packs of fierce beasts
running from the woods. Wolves, tigers, leopards, snakes, mice, insects. No matter how big or small, no matter their degree or rank, they all trembled and crawled on the ground, lowering their heads toward the peak. The ferocious beasts covered the whole slope. The scene was so shocking it sent chills down my spine. So this is the power of Ting? All beasts submit. I took a deep breath and suppressed my excitement. I quickly ran up to the peak. Earth Dog gently stepped down, and the slope instantly erupted in commotion. A moment later, more than a dozen stone apes lined up in front of me, kneeling down with loud thuds. They acted almost human, bowing repeatedly. It looked funny and creepy at the same time. I looked them over carefully, picked one whose size and fur most closely matched Steward, whose contract beast, patting its head. You, come with me. The stone ape obediently stood up and followed me quietly. I picked up Earth Dog and returned to the sect under cover of night. Only after my figure disappeared completely did the birds and beasts dare stand up again and scatter away. Back in my room, I stuffed the stone ape into the universe cauldron. The cauldron erupted in golden light. Countless spiritual energy rushed into the stone ape. The stone ape howled in pain inside the cauldron. Its skin began to petrify inch by inch. Its body swelled rapidly. The whole process lasted about the time it takes to burn a stick of incense. Once the golden light faded, a mutated stone ape appeared nearly identical to Steward, whose contract beast. Mutated stone ape. It jumped out of the cauldron. The moment it landed, the hard stone floor was smashed with 2 deep footprints. The mutated stone ape glared fiercely and lunged at me, its petrified fist whooshing toward my head, directly aiming for my skull. I jumped in surprise, was about to run, but Earth Dog was already in my way. He tossed the mutated stone ape a glance. In an instant, the mutated stone ape froze in place. He shuddered as if shocked. Then his gaze became clear and calm.
He rubbed his big head against my leg,
looking like a well-behaved kitten. I finally breathed a sigh of relief. Curving my lips, I looked toward the window. The night was deep. It's time. I opened the window and gave the mutated stone ape its order. Go to the steward's house and kill Hudi. The mutated stone ape nodded, leapt out, and vanished into the night. He was incredibly fast. His petrified body made not a sound. He was just like a ghost. A moment later, a short, sharp scream came from the steward's office. It was quickly followed by silence. I waited for about another 15 minutes. After making sure nothing else was happening, I quietly snuck over with the mutt. The door to the steward's office had been smashed in. Steward Hu was lying in a pool of blood. There was a huge fist mark on his chest. It was clearly the sign of the mutated rock gibbon's petrifying punch. It matched the attack style of his own contracted beast exactly. I quickly scanned the scene. Then I started searching for my own pills. In the cabinets under the bed, I searched the whole room from top to bottom. Finally, in a hidden compartment in the corner, I found that pouch. But that wasn't all. Right next to my pouch was a box packed full of first-rate pre-sale tokens. I counted them. There were exactly 100. I was overjoyed. These were all tokens Hu the steward had collected from the other outer disciples. Now they all belonged to me. I packed up all the pills, then double-checked every corner of the scene. After making sure I hadn't left any traces behind, I quickly left with the mutt. The mutated rock gibbon had already run deep into the mountains as I'd ordered. It had escaped deep into the mountains as instructed. Even if someone tried to investigate, they'd only assume Hu's contracted beast had lost control and killed him before fleeing into the mountains. Early the next morning, Hu the steward's corpse was discovered. When the elders confirmed that he had also been killed by his own contracted beast, the entire outer sect was thrown into chaos. First it was Lu Zhong, now it was Steward Hu. In just a few days, 2 people had died, in exactly the same way. This was definitely no coincidence. The sect disciples were all on edge. Both inner and outer disciples were terrified. Many of them didn't even dare go near their own contracted beasts, afraid they might be the next one. In order to calm the panic, the sect elders once again intensified their investigations. But all the evidence at the scene pointed straight at Hu's mutated rock gibbon. And the beast had already escaped into the deep mountains, leaving no trace. The investigation quickly hit a dead end. With no other option, the elders could only chalk it up to the sect's spiritual fluctuations, which caused the contracted beast to lose control. To ease the disciples' worries, the elders stayed up all night refining a batch of beast-calming pills, handing them out to every disciple. From now on, if a contracted beast rebelled, all you had to do was crush the pill to temporarily suppress the beast and save your life. Once the disciples got their beast-calming pills, they finally felt a bit more at ease. After Steward Hu died, the sect quickly appointed a new steward for the outer sect, Steward Wang. He was the complete opposite of Hu, gentle and kind-hearted, with a kind face and compassionate look. The first thing he did after taking office was calm the nerves of the outer disciples. Then he overturned all the oppressive rules set by Hu, repealing those that bullied the disciples. He even greatly increased the rewards for outer sect missions. When I heard the news, I was over the moon. There were still 2 weeks before the sect competition. The increased mission rewards meant I could stash up pills much faster. I rushed to the mission hall right away, carefully scanning the bulletin board for a suitable task. In the end, my eyes locked onto a gathering mission: collecting exotic beast fruit. Exotic beast fruits grow in remote mountain ranges and are extremely scarce. It usually takes at least a month to collect just one. That's exactly why the reward for this mission was a whopping 10 high-grade pre-sale tokens. And since this gathering quest didn't require any fighting, I didn't have to worry about exposing the mutt's strength. This task was practically tailor-made for me, custom fit to my needs. I took the quest slip to the network manager for a signature. The manager glanced at the mission details, then looked me over. There was a flicker of surprise in his eyes. This mission isn't easy. The environment where the exotic beast fruit grows is extremely harsh. Are you sure you want to take it? Steward Wang, I'd like to give it a try. Steward Wang pondered for a moment, but still stamped the quest slip. Be careful. Do what you can. Thank you, Steward Wang. Heading straight to the back mountain with my native dog. After entering the mountains, I realized that gathering longevity fruits was much harder than I imagined. This mountain is simply too large, and longevity fruits are extremely rare. I gathered all the animals together. After searching for an entire day, we didn't find even a single longevity fruit. Only on the edge of a cliff did we find an unripened seedling. I stood at the foot of the mountain feeling troubled, struggling with what to do next. Just then, I suddenly had a flash of inspiration. If I can't find the fruits, don't I still have the fruit seedling? If I take the seedling back and toss it into the universe tripod, would there be some kind of surprise? I was overjoyed. I reached out and patted the little guy's head. Find a way to pick that for me. The native dog nodded. It let out another roar toward the sky. As the roar subsided, a fly suddenly swooped down. It landed next to the seedling, carefully uprooted it, and delivered it into my hands. I rushed back to the sect overnight with the seedling. The moment I entered my room, I threw it into the universe tripod. Just a few minutes later, the originally green and short seedling began to grow taller at a speed visible to the naked eye. Soon, it was covered with heavy fruit. When the golden light of the universe tripod faded, a mature exotic fruit tree appeared inside the cauldron. There were exactly 10 exotic fruits hanging on the tree. I was so excited I almost screamed out loud. If I hand in all 10 of these fruits, wouldn't that be a reward of 100 beast-taming pills? But I quickly calmed down. If I handed in 10 exotic fruits directly, it would surely arouse suspicion. After all, I'm just a useless disciple with a contracted native dog. How could I possibly gather 10 fruits in a single day? I thought about it and decided to plant the tree back on the mountain. Early the next morning, I took the tree into the mountains before dawn. I found a hidden cliff and planted the tree there. Then, pretending I had just discovered it, I ran to find Manager Wang with an excited face. Manager Wang, I found a wild exotic fruit tree in the back mountain. There are 10 fruits on it. What? 10 fruits? Take me there. I led Manager Wang and several disciples to the cliff. Manager Wang, after seeing the fruit tree laden with fruit with his own eyes, was speechless with shock. Usually, it's difficult for an exotic fruit tree to produce even one fruit, yet this one had 10. This was simply incredible luck. He immediately arranged for specialized disciples to climb up and gather them. But the cliff was far too steep. The disciple gathering them almost fell halfway up. In the end, they used ropes to suspend themselves, to barely manage to pick the fruits. The surrounding disciples watched with both envy and jealousy, all marveling at my good luck. Manager Wang was also very happy, but after thinking it over, he lowered his voice and said to me, "You discovered the tree, but you didn't do the harvesting yourself, so I'll give you 80 pills. Also, I will arrange for someone to secretly deliver the pills to your room tonight to prevent others from resenting you." Thank you, Manager Wang. That night, the 80 ordinary grade beast taming pills were delivered on time, added to the 110 pills I got from Manager Hu earlier. Now, I have a total of 190 ordinary grade beast taming pills in my hands. I'm still 310 pills away from my goal of 500. There are still 2 weeks until the sect competition. Time is tight, but I am full of confidence. Wait for it, little guy. I will definitely get my hands on the divine grade beast taming pill. Over the next 5 days, I hardly slept at all. I took one task after another from the herb hall. I even took the dirty job of feeding the canteen. But after 5 days, I only saved up about 20 pills. I'm still quite far from the goal of 500, but there was no other way. To hide my strength, I could only choose these thankless tasks. As the day of the sect competition grew closer, I became increasingly anxious. This morning, I had just come out of the mission hall when I was called over by Manager Wang. "The Chan, don't leave yet." Manager Wang was holding a register with a smile on his face. "There is an important matter today. You must stay." Manager Wang, what's happening? Today is the Outer Sect Disciple Assessment. Those who pass can be promoted directly to the Inner Sect. My heart skipped a beat. the outer sect assessment, means having to show my contracted beast's talent in front of all the disciples. Wouldn't the native dog's secret be exposed then? I absolutely cannot participate. I put on a troubled look. Manager Wang, with my native dog's aptitude, going there would just be a waste of time. Maybe I should skip it? This is a sect regulation. All outer sect disciples must participate. Those who don't will be expelled directly from the sect. My heart tightened. Isn't this forcing me into a corner? While I was hesitating about what to do, Manager Wang added another sentence. Also, for next month's sect competition, only inner sect disciples are allowed to participate. Hearing this, my heart instantly sank halfway. It seems I have no other choice at all. I have to participate. Otherwise, I won't get the immortal gray beast taming pill. The native dog won't be able to evolve, and all my previous efforts will be for nothing. I gritted my teeth. Manager Wang, I'll go. Good. Don't be nervous, kid. Just do your best, okay? I picked up the native dog and walked toward the assessment field. On the way, I looked down at the dog. Little guy, don't be too flashy later. The native dog nodded with full confidence, looking like a grand master who had achieved the Tao. At this moment, the assessment field was already crowded with outer sect disciples. There were more than 300 of them in a dense crowd. In the center of the field stood a stone about half the height of a person. It was pitch black, with dense patterns on its surface. That was the talent stone, a magical artifact used to detect the talent ceiling of a contracted beast. As soon as I reached the edge of the field, I heard a burst of whispering. Look, everyone. That loser the Chun is here. He even brought his mutt. He really isn't afraid of embarrassing himself. Hearing these words, I didn't even bother to look up. I've heard this kind of mockery for 3 years. I've long since become numb to it. Manager Wang walked to the center of the field and cleared his throat. Quiet, disciples. This assessment is stricter than before. Anyone with a talent ceiling below level 3 will be eliminated. As soon as he finished speaking, the field erupted instantly. What? Level 3? Didn't it only require level 2 in previous years? Who can pass level 3? Stop arguing. This is the sect's rule. Only if the talent ceiling reaches level 3 can a contracted beast possibly break its limits through postnatal cultivation. If it can't even reach level 3, entering the inner sect is just a waste of resources. As these words were spoken, no one dared to say anything else. They could only pray they'd pass the test. A disciple from the Beast Tamer sect stepped forward, with a face full of pride. My red-tailed scorpion is a truly rare beast. Its talent ceiling is at least tier 5.
He confidently placed his contracted beast on the talent stone.
The talent stone instantly lit up with a red glow. The examiner glanced over. Tier 1 eliminated. Next. Impossible! How could my red-tailed scorpion be just tier 1? I want to test it again, but the examiner didn't give him the chance at all. He had people throw him out right away. The disciples' hearts jumped into their throats. Just as expected, the next dozen or so disciples all triggered a red glow. Not even a single tier 2 among them. Naturally, they were all eliminated. Some walked off the stage with tears in their eyes. Some just sat on the ground. The scene became downright ugly, until a disciple named Chun Kui stepped up. Only then did the crowd quiet down. He was the most promising genius among this year's outer disciples. His contracted beast was a silver-striped leopard. Chun Kui confidently placed his silver-striped leopard on the talent stone. The talent stone instantly glowed yellow. Chun Kui was thrilled. Manager Fang, mine is tier 3. Does that mean I can enter the inner sect? Manager Fang's eyes lit up for a moment. But when he noticed that within the yellow glow, there was a faint hint of orange. Tier 3, lower grade. Doesn't meet the inner sect standard. Eliminated. Chun Kui's face instantly turned pale as death.
He kept muttering with his head down. Impossible.
How is that possible? How could my silver-striped leopard be only lower grade? I'm supposed to be the top genius of the outer sect. I should be entering the inner sect. Impossible. This is absolutely impossible. The other disciples turned even paler seeing this. It's over. If even Chun Kui's only lower tier 3, this year's outer disciples might get wiped out. For the rest of the test, the outer disciples had no hope left. They stepped forward like walking corpses and got eliminated just as lifelessly as more and more people got eliminated. In the end, there were fewer than 10 left in the arena. I continued quietly standing last, observing, until the examiner finally called my name. The Chan steps forward. I only carried the mutt slowly to the center of the arena. As soon as they saw me come up, the outer disciples, who were all gloomy just now, instinctively showed eager smiles. They were excited to see me embarrass myself in public, to win back some of the confidence they lost. The skinny disciple's face was full of excitement. Guys, look! That loser the Chan actually showed up too. I bet. His mutt is at best a low-level tier 1. When the other disciples heard that, they burst out into loud laughter. The mockery was non-stop. But I didn't care about their ridicule at all. What I'm worried about now is how to hide the mutt's talent. I squatted down and gently patted the mutt's head. Little guy, you should be fine, right? The mutt wagged its tail obediently, barked twice, looking totally confident. But I still felt a little uneasy. Don't be too flashy. You'll bring us trouble. The mutt wasn't happy with my nagging and barked at me again. I couldn't help but laugh and cry at the same time. All right, I shouldn't doubt you. Little guy, I trust you, go ahead. The mutt nodded and jumped onto the talent stone by itself, just as its little paw touched the talent stone. The entire testing grounds went silent. Everyone held their breath, all eagerly waiting for the result. 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. The talent stone showed no reaction at all. The whole crowd burst into laughter again. Look, it's actually a 5th class total loser. I overestimated it. Manager Wang glanced at me. Even he sighed softly and shook his head, with sympathy in his eyes. I paid no attention to any of this, just stared at the mutt on the talent stone without blinking, and murmured softly, Little guy, you'd better hold back a bit. Just as I was speaking, the talent stone reacted. A blinding golden light suddenly shot upward. The entire test ground was bathed in gold. Then the talent stone began to shake violently. On its surface, a golden vein lit up. The golden lines even stretched out onto the ground, making the floor shine with golden light. Everyone was stunned, staring directly at the mutt, wide-eyed, swallowing hard. They couldn't believe this shocking scene was caused by a mutt. Manager Wang was also in shock. He didn't even notice the roster falling from his hand. In his 30 years at the sect, he had never seen the talent stone react like this. The glow from the talent stone was so bright it was blinding. Moments later, under everyone's stunned gaze, the golden light faded and turned into several gentle shades of blue-green, flowing back and forth along the talent stone. Manager Wang's lips trembled as he spoke a few words. 5th tier qualifies for the test. The Shan is officially admitted to the inner sect. The whole place went dead silent, then exploded into waves of discussion. Chan Kui was so angry he was trembling. 5th tier? That's impossible. He made a contract with a useless mutt. The talent stone must be broken. Manager Wang rushed to my side and grabbed my hand tightly. Bishan, your mutt has a maximum talent of 5th tier. Do you know what that means? I'm almost furious. I secretly shot the mutt a glare and then pretended to look confused at Manager Wang. What does it mean? It means that with enough resources to nurture it, it could even evolve into a beast. That's a beast. A 5th tier beast. Once a beast reaches tier 3, its combat ability undergoes a total transformation. It's incredibly rare. If this mutt really evolves, the sect will definitely focus on developing it. By then, you'll have almost unlimited resources. Everyone's face was filled with barely concealed excitement. Manager Wang let out a deep breath. Dachan, go and get ready. Report to the inner sect with me this afternoon. Thank you for the reminder, Manager Wang. After that, under everyone's envious gaze, I left the testing ground holding the mutt. On the way back, I tapped the mutt's head, annoyed. Didn't you say you wouldn't? Show off? Is this what you call not showing off? The mutt drooped its ears in grievance, barked at me twice, as if to say it had tried its best. The next day, I walked through the inner sect in my brand new disciple uniform, drawing countless people's attention along the way. All the female disciples were attracted to my good looks, with love-struck faces. It was like there were sparkling stars in their eyes. The male disciples weren't nearly as friendly. They all saw me as their nemesis. The way they looked at me made it seem like they wanted to eat me alive. As for their mockery, I didn't take it seriously at all, because I knew they envied how girls liked me, and were also jealous of my mutt's powerful talent. When I reached the inner sect plaza, a crowd suddenly appeared ahead. Leading them was a young man in luxurious inner sect robes, with a face full of arrogance. He led his group to block my way. I recognized him as Ji Qingfeng, top inner sect disciple.
His contracted beast is Tier 9, the sect's top prodigy.
So I cupped my fists humbly. He sneered and waved me over. With a cry, the Shijiao eagle swooped down at me like lightning. It was so fast, the air even let out a boom. If that hit landed, I would probably be skewered on the spot. The mutt immediately bristled, bared its teeth, ready to counterattack. Just then, a charming figure stepped in front of me. Stop. The woman wore a pale blue inner sect robe. Her figure was shapely and curvy. Senior brother Jiu, aren't you afraid the elders will find out for hitting junior brother so hard? When the woman appeared, Jiu Qingfeng casually summoned back the eagle and flashed a gentle smile. Junior sister Qingguan. I was just joking with junior brother He won't mind. Jiu Qingfeng then shot me a look. Senior brother Jiu, that's not funny at all. If it weren't for senior sister Su, I would probably be dead by now. Su Qingguan frowned her delicate brows. So this is what you call a joke, senior brother Jiu? The Chun, right? I won't forget you. We'll see about that. Then he led his people away. Su Qingguan snorted lightly, then turned around and gave me a sweet smile. Junior brother, are you all right? I'm fine. Thank you for saving me, senior sister. Don't mention it. My name is Su Qingguan. Just call me senior sister Su. Su Qingguan, that's a beautiful name. It really suits senior sister Su's temperament.
Hearing this,
A slight blush appeared on Su Qingguan's pretty cheeks. She pretended not to care and squatted down to pet the mutt's head. Little guy, you're so cute. The mutt, for the first time ever, didn't dodge. Instead, it obediently squinted its eyes, with a face full of enjoyment. This really surprised me. This mutt has never been this obedient to anyone but me. Not once. Could it be? He also feels a sense of warmth from Su Qingguan. Junior brother come with me to claim your pre-sale slips. All newly promoted inner disciples receive them. My heart leapt with joy. I can't believe there's such a great benefit. I hurried after him. On the way to the pill chamber, I couldn't help but feel curious, so I asked senior sister Qingguan, "Why are you helping me?" "Because your dog is really cute." Hearing that answer, for a moment I didn't know what to say. All I could do was smile and nod. After collecting the pills, I returned to my room. I lay on my back on the bed, my face full of anticipation. From today onward, I'm officially an inner disciple. The reward for inner sect tasks is several times higher than the outer sect. Even a random errand task can get me 3 to 5 return pill pre-sale slips. As long as I give it my all, I'm sure I can save up 500 pills before the clan competition. In the days that followed, the number of pills I had started to skyrocket. I'd already reached 350, only 150 away from 500. Success was just around the corner. But there are only 3 days left until the clan contest. Time was obviously running out. I stood in front of the task board, struggling to decide which mission to take. Low-level tasks definitely won't be enough. But the high-level tasks are basically all dangerous combat missions. If I mess up, Both my and the dog's strength will be exposed. That would be way too risky. I lowered my head and asked for the dog's opinion. He barked twice, eyes full of determination. I knew he wanted me to take a high-level quest, so I made up my mind to set my sights on the most difficult task: hunt down the Tier 6 spirit beast, Ghost Wolf. Reward: 100 return pill pre-sale slips. I took a deep breath, looked down at the dog. Cradling him, I left the sect, heading straight for the depths of the back mountain, and arrived at the Ghost Wolf's lair. A huge beastly figure suddenly leapt out from the cave entrance. Its body seemed to flicker in and out, almost like a ghost. No wonder they call it the Ghost Wolf. My face immediately fell. As soon as the dog heard my command, he stretched lazily and swaggered, getting ready to attack. Maybe feeling provoked, a fierce light flashed in the Ghost Wolf's eyes, and in the next instant, a blast of cold wind hit me right in the face. I was shocked to see the Ghost Wolf's gaping maw was already at my neck, ready to bite my throat off. The mutt immediately became furious.
He scratched the ground twice and was ready to charge forward.
But before he could make a move, a white shadow with 7 tails suddenly rushed out. It knocked the Ghost Wolf flying more than 10 meters away. It was actually a rare beast, the 7-tailed white fox. I was still stunned. Another light blue figure dashed out from behind the tree. It was actually Su Qingguan. She rushed over and grabbed my wrist. Her expression was full of annoyance. "The Chan, are you crazy?" I looked at her in astonishment. "Senior Sister Su, what are you doing here?" Su Qingguan shot me a glare. "I saw you accepted such a dangerous mission, so I followed because I was worried." "You're way too impulsive. How dare you take on a mission like this?" I took a deep breath, squatted down, and gently patted the mutt. "All right, little guy. No more hiding. Show them your true strength." The mutt was stunned for a moment, then immediately charged at the Ghost Wolf King, looking thrilled. "What are you doing? Bring him back right now." But before she could finish, the situation changed dramatically. An overwhelming, suffocating pressure erupted, centered around the mutt. It spread outward in all directions. The mutt's body began to rapidly swell. In the blink of an eye, it had grown to a towering 5 meters high. Its fur turned golden. 2 horns sprouted from its head. All 4 paws glowed with golden dragon patterns. The contract information flashed through my mind. Divine Beast D Ting. Ancient bloodline. Powers beyond measure. Looking at the contract info, I was practically drooling. So this is the real Divine Beast D Ting. Truly worthy of the name. Su Qingguan was frozen in place. Divine Beast Junior That little dog is actually a divine beast. It walked up to the Ghost Wolf. He lowered his head. Those gigantic golden eyes looked down as if staring at an ant. Facing this 6th-rank beast, the Ghost Wolf wanted to flee. But fear left him paralyzed, unable to even lift a leg. D Ting raised a massive paw and stomped down hard. The Ghost Wolf shut his eyes in despair. With a dull thud, the Ghost Wolf couldn't even yelp, didn't have a chance to cry out, and was crushed into a mound of bloody pulp. Then its form instantly faded away, leaving behind only a single purple beast core. My heart pounded as I stared at the demon core. A whole unblemished 5th-rank beast core. If I turned this into the sect, it could easily exchange for more than 100 regular beast control pills. Does this mean my mission is complete? D Ting walked back to me, raising his chin, waiting for praise. But before I could say anything, the 7-tailed white fox was already running over with glowing eyes. She pounced on D Ting and kept rubbing her head against him. All 7 tails wrapped tightly around D Ting's leg. I nearly burst out laughing. Who would have thought? Even the mutt has his own little fangirl now. Su Qingguan glanced at the scene before her, then looked at me, a little embarrassed. "The Chan, little 7. He's just a bit overly excited." I smiled and walked over to Su Qingguan. "Senior Sister Su, can you keep this a secret for me?" Su Qingguan nodded earnestly. Her eyes were even softer than before. I bent down, picked up the purple demon core from the ground, and held it out to her. Let's go back together. Su Qingguan blushed, hesitated for a second, then placed her hand in mine. I pulled her onto Ting's back with me. The seven-tailed white fox immediately sprawled across Ting's neck. All seven tails clutching onto Ting. Ting let out a long howl, all four massive paws leaving the ground, and soared toward the sect. By the time we returned to the sect, it was already dusk. Su Qingguan and I walked into the mission hall one after another. Ting had returned to his mutt form, obediently lying in my arms. When the mission manager saw us, he immediately stood up. "The Chun, you're back. How did it go?" "The mission is complete." I spread the purple demon core out on my palm, a smile on my face. The manager was stunned at the sight of the core, and took it with trembling hands. Even his voice was shaking. "Is this really the Ghost Wolf's demon core?" "How did you do it?" "All thanks to Senior Sister Sue. If she hadn't arrived in time, I would have died in the Ghost Wolf's jaws." Su Qingguan was briefly stunned, looking at me puzzled. I gave her a look. She instantly understood what I meant, and smiled at the manager. "Honestly, I just got lucky. If Junior hadn't drawn the Ghost Wolf away, I wouldn't have had a chance to ambush it either." The manager became even more excited hearing that. "Amazing! Truly incredible! You actually defeated a 6th-rank beast, and even claimed a whole demon core. If the elders find out, they'll be absolutely thrilled." He carefully placed the core inside a brocade box, and took out 2 pouches from the cabinet. "The mission reward is 100 pills. The other 100 is the reward for this demon core. Keep these safe." "Thank you, manager." Su Qingguan and I exchanged delighted glances. Then I cupped my hands in thanks as I took the bags. We actually got 200 advanced pill slips this time. Back in the disciples' quarters, I couldn't wait to summon the Heaven-Earth Cauldron. The cauldron hovered in midair, its golden light shining brilliantly. I dumped all 500 advanced slips inside at once, then watched the cauldron with nervous anticipation. It began to tremble violently. Golden energy roiled inside. Countless specks of golden light danced above the opening. In no time at all, piles of pills had stacked up like a small mountain. 5,500 pills. I stared at the mountain of pills in the cauldron, unable to count them all. I trembled with excitement. Finally, I'd saved enough, and preparations to make the mutt a true legend had reached the final step. Now, as long as I can take first place in the sect tournament, and use an immortal grade advanced slip as a catalyst, I can synthesize a divine grade slip, and help the mutt ascend to legend status for good. 2 days flew by. The sect tournament officially starts today. I got up before dawn, changed into a clean inner disciple robe, and walked with Su Qingguan and the mutt to the tournament stage. The event was held on the sect's largest arena. Not long after, the sect tournament began. It's a knockout competition, dueling by drawing lots. The winner advances to the next round. Since the mutt is overwhelmingly powerful, I was able to keep winning with ease. I barely even showed my true strength. This surprised everyone. They stared at me, as if I were a monster. They couldn't imagine how a mutt could possess such terrifying power. Meanwhile, Jiu Qingfeng also enjoyed a winning streak. His Chixiao hawk was lightning fast, and its fire attacks were fierce. Hardly anyone could stand against him. With each match, he and I both made it to the finals. On the day of the finals, the entire venue was packed. Even the sect master was sitting in the front row. Jiu Qingfeng was standing on the other side. His face was full of killing intent. "Your death has come." I smiled. I couldn't be bothered to waste words with him. Meanwhile, below the arena, Su Qingguan stood in the front row. Her hands were tightly clenched. Her eyes never left me for a second. The sect master stood up. His deep, powerful voice resounded throughout the venue. Sect Grand Competition. The finals officially begin. Crimson Sky Eagle Blazing Inferno. The Crimson Sky Eagle soared into the air. With a flap of its wings, flames poured down from the sky. The entire arena was instantly engulfed. This attack was extremely powerful. It was obvious he intended to kill me right from the start. The crowd cried out in shock. Yes. I gently patted the earth dog. The little guy jumped out of my arms, landing on all fours. Golden light formed an aura around him that instantly enveloped me. Flames crashed against the golden aura, as if hitting an iron wall. Not even a ripple appeared. When the flames finally dissipated, everyone was shocked to find that inside the glow, I hadn't even lost a single piece of clothing. There was a relaxed smile on my face. The audience fell eerily silent. The sect master and several elders were all stunned. Jiu Qingfeng's eyes widened even further. This is impossible! He screamed in anger again. Crimson Sky Eagle, kill him for me. The Crimson Sky Eagle launched 3 more rounds of fire rain in a row. It was obviously giving it everything it had. But even so, I stood within the golden aura, completely unharmed. Jiu Qingfeng was utterly devastated. His chest heaved violently. His face turned completely red. He pointed at me and roared hoarsely. The hiding in your turtle shell doesn't prove anything. If you've got guts, come out and fight me head on. Since you want to die so badly, I'll grant your wish. I looked down at the earth dog. Little guy, let's switch tactics. The earth dog instantly understood. Its body turned into a streak of golden light and entered my body. Suddenly, I felt my spiritual energy surge. My blood began to boil. My skin started to transform. Behind me, an enormous golden silhouette began to appear. It looked just like a disco ball. I slowly floated into the air, like a deity descending from the heavens. The inner sect disciples looked at me in midair, as if sensing some kind of bloodline suppression. They couldn't help but want to kneel. One by one, dozens, nearly every inner sect disciple, couldn't stop themselves from dropping to their knees. Finally, they all knelt down. On the high platform, the sect master shot up from his seat, even knocking over his chair. His voice trembled as he pointed at me. Sacred beast empowerment. Only sacred beasts possess the power to enhance and protect their master. I can't believe it. My 10,000 Beasts sect has produced a divine beast tamer. Heavens bless us. Our 10,000 Beasts sect truly has hope to rise now. At that moment, Jiu Qingfeng on the arena was pale with fear. His mouth hung wide open. But not a single word came out. The Crimson Sky Eagle also instinctively sensed the danger. Its entire body transformed into raging flames and charged down toward me at unprecedented speed. It tried to use its speed to ram right through me. The attack was so fast, no one else could even react. But of course, I was the exception. I gave a slight smirk, casually raised my hand upward, and grabbed it by the throat. Then, with a gentle squeeze of my fingers, the Crimson Sky Eagle's body instantly vanished. Only its crimson demon core remained. Only the crimson demon core remained. I curled my finger. The crimson demon core seemed almost conscious. It flew into my hand on its own. Seeing this scene, Jiu Qingfeng was so terrified he collapsed on the arena floor. His pants were soaked. Seeing him so pathetic was like looking at an ant. I instantly lost any interest in killing him. I floated in front of him, towering above him. My expression was calm and indifferent. Landing on the ground, I turned and walked towards Su Qingguan. The crowd parted to create a path. No one dared to block me. Su Qingguan stood right at the front of the crowd, her eyes shining brightly as she looked at me. I walked up to her. I reached out my hand. Su Qingguan didn't hesitate at all. She placed her hand into mine. We walked side by side toward the sect master's platform. I saluted with one hand. The sect master steadied himself. He took out a jade box from his sleeve, handed it to me with both hands, then took Su Qingguan's hand, and walked off the stage under everyone's gaze. From now on, I no longer needed anyone's guidance. Back in my room, I closed the door behind me. I took out the 500 pre-sale pills wrapped in silk and handed them to Su Qingguan. Qinwang, these are for you. Su Qingguan opened the bundle. Seeing so many ordinary pre-sale pills, she was completely dazzled. This is just too much. I can't accept it. I smiled and patted her hand, then slipped the crimson demon core into her hand as well. Take this demon core too. Use it for refining. It'll let the seven-tail white fox advance one more level. Su Qingguan held the pills and demon core in her hands. Her eyes turned red in an instant. She looked at me, deeply moved. She reached out her little hand and gently touched my face. Ye Chen, thank you. We gazed into each other's eyes. Time seemed to stand still. No need for grand promises. No need for any vows. But our hearts understood each other completely. After quite a while, I finally stepped away from her, summoned the Cancun cauldron. The Cancun cauldron floated in midair, golden light swirling around it. I opened my storage pouch and dumped all 5,000 returnable pre-sale pills inside at once. Then carefully took out the jade box and placed the celestial grade pre-sale pill inside too. After finishing all this, I turned to look at the earth dog. Little one, this is the last step. The earth dog was already impatient. It barked twice, then leaped straight into the Cancun cauldron. This time, the Cancun cauldron reacted more intensely than ever before. The entire cauldron shook violently. Golden light shot straight out of the cauldron's mouth toward the sky. Countless dragon patterns swirled in the golden light. Su Qingguan was so startled by this sight she stepped back, instinctively grabbing my arm. I gently held her hand, letting her witness the miracle together with me. Inside the Cancun cauldron, the earth dog's body kept expanding. Golden dragon patterns covered its whole body. 2 horns grew out from the sides of its head, getting thicker and longer. Its claws also shone with golden light. That overwhelming aura was countless times stronger than when we defeated the Spectre Volf. After a long time, the golden light finally faded away. A gigantic beast covered in golden fur slowly walked out of the cauldron and stood before us. The little earth dog had finally become a true D-Ting. D-Ting walked over and looked at me gently, then lightly pressed its forehead against mine. In that instant, a surging spiritual energy flowed from its forehead into me. I felt my whole being ascend. My body rose into the air. My skin became crystalline. My entire body was completely reforged. When I opened my eyes again, a divine and majestic aura burst forth instantly, as if commanding all creation to bow down. In that moment, I became a divine beast tamer, no longer dependent on D-Ting, but possessing extraordinary combat power myself. A true divine-level beast tamer. I slowly spoke, only to find even my voice had changed. It became clear and gentle, like spring water. Thank you. D-Ting wagged its tail, its eyes full of unspoken understanding with me. Su Qingguan gazed at me in a daze, not even blinking. Just then, I suddenly lifted my head to look out the window. My brows furrowed slightly. I sensed a lot of people rapidly approaching outside the sect. Their auras were powerful and unfamiliar, and full of killing intent. Looks like news of the sect competition spread quickly. All the other factions are getting restless. I turned around and reached a hand out to Su Qingguan. She froze for a moment, then instantly put her hand in mine, nodded firmly. I brought her onto D-Ting's back. D-Ting let out a long howl and broke through the rooftop and soared into the sky, then hovered over the Wanshu sect. I stood on D-Ting's back, gazing from afar at the approaching figures on the horizon. Come on, I'm waiting for you all.